being the authentic you. Hello and welcome to the podcast. My name is Paul Drake. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about being authentic and how, what does it really mean to be authentic, and can you really be authentic in a world where everyone wants to be the same, or everyone has the same opinions, or everyone wants to, be one and united, as it were. So, hope you enjoy the podcast, and I hope if you are on YouTube, then subscribe, hit the like button. If you're on the podcast channels, please review it, please share it, because it makes the channel grow, and I'd really appreciate it. Now, let's get into it. So, being an authentic you can mean literally from being successful to not being successful. Because you can quite easily absorb all this information from other people, all this information from, outside sources, but does it end up having to then be, authentic because you are using everyone else's knowledge? And in my opinion, I think you can. I think you can absorb all these other people's different opinions, knowledge, whatever you want to call it, and then become the person that, brings it forth in your own personality. Now, Gary Vee is very good on this. He talks about how why do you need to be like doing one specific thing, because everyone wants you to go down in such a small, narrow niche. They want you to be so tightly into it, when in actual fact, if you decided to, use you as yourself as a branding, so your personality, your your charisma, everything about you to bring out forth to show people who you are, what you are, and it just happens to have other people like you for you instead of what you are doing specifically. Because at the end of the day, if they're only there for one reason, and that is to see that one thing, that is great, because yeah, fair enough, the people are following you, people are liking you, people are buying your courses for that one thing. But what happens if you decide to change, or if you decide to go in a different direction? Then people generally won't stay with you, because they've been so used to doing that one thing. Generally, they'll only stay with you for, that one thing. Whereas if you use, your authenticity, I can't even say it, to bring out who you are as a character, what you like doing, what your failures are, what your passions are, what your successes are, people are going to love you a lot more, because you seem more real and more in front of them. And yeah, I think definitely bringing that forth to people is a lot better than, putting on a front, putting on a facade. It's like when, you see it all the time when people go to like reunions. So say they're college or something, and they go back to the reunion 40, 50 years later, I don't know, maybe less than that, 5 years later, 10 years, and they put on this massive facade like they are, doing so well and their life is so perfect, just to please other people, and just to, don't want to look like they're a failure in front of other people, which is just silly. At the end of the day, you are who you are, and the only way, you are a failure is if you stop trying to become better. Because at the end of the day, if you're not becoming better every day, or you're not putting steps in for place, then you're just stagnant. You're staying still. If anything, you're going backwards, because at least if you were, going backwards, at least you were moving. So, and the reason I'm doing this is because I've been, trying to become better, and I've been trying to live a life without regret and trying to live happy. That's the whole point of my core values. But along the way, I've kind of lost my own pizzazz, my own sparkle from reading other people's things, instead of, being who I want to be, and really focusing on just having a great life, and just, if other people don't like my personal opinions, people don't like other things, then so what? Who cares? At the end of the day, I'd rather bring as much value and inspiration to people as I can. And if you don't like me, then fair enough. It's like Marmite. I don't know if any of you, are Marmite fans out there. Marmite is disgusting. I'm not even kidding. It is disgusting. And that's how you should be. You should be like Marmite. Because at the end of the day, people are going to love you, people are going to hate you. But at the end of the day, you're still Marmite. So you're still going to be who you're going to be, because you love being that person. Now, my dad recently has had that, that Marmite and peanut butter. Ugh, peanut butter is lovely. Marmite, no. I'm sorry, but that's just wrong, isn't it? Anyway, I'm digressing. So, I'm going to try and bring more of like my experiences, more of who I am and stuff like that to the podcast, instead of just trying to reel off different things of what I've learned and stuff. I'm gonna try and be more chatty, a bit more yeah, hope a bit more open. And so what I've been doing the last few days is doing Wim Hof's method, which has been good. I've been doing that every morning and night. Now, the hardest thing is probably the shower, because I don't have one. You're supposed to have a cold shower at night. So what I've been doing is finishing my bath and then getting a cup of cold water and then tipping it on myself. Do you know how shocking that is to the system? So the first night, I don't think I did it. The second night, I did 3 cups. Last night, I did 4 cups of cold water, like proper. It was freezing. It was not pleasant in the slightest. I mean, like, it was definitely a shock. But the method itself is good. It's getting me to, get more in control of my breathing, get more in control of, like, just being inner strength, which is great. So, that there, what I can take away is, if you're wanting to try something new, I'd definitely recommend it. Now, there's also things like my ulcerative colitis. I don't really talk about that too much, and I'm gonna maybe try and start bringing that into the equation of trying and helping people that are living with an illness like mine, like other people's that they can't really see. Like my ex-girlfriend, she's got ME, which is a very debilitating disease. Now, it isn't pleasant when you know how ill you are, but yet other people can't see it. That's why I'm loving these new signs, the disability signs that say not all illnesses are visible, which is great because they're all not. So, yeah, it's about trying to show people about how to deal with it and finding that inner strength to know that you can deal with it, and because it can be quite debilitating when you've got an illness that no one else knows about and you're struggling through it, and it's not something that people want to hear about, because generally people want to hear the positive, people want to hear the amazing side. People just want to see your Ferraris, people want to see your massive houses, people want to see. And is that being authentic? Is it really? I'm talking to you here in my brother's bedroom. Well, this is a great setup for a podcast, but I don't care, because it's going to get better, and when over time I'll get a better setup, and I'll show you the steps that I've taken to go from where I was, from literally having no money coming in, being I'd say in a place where I was very unhappy, to having my own house, to having new things, to showing this, to showing that. And I want to take you along my journey and want you to come along with me. And if I can inspire you to do anything, it is literally to find what you're passionate about doing. And if you want to do that like as a either career, or if you want to do that as a hobby, or whatever you want to do, just go for it. And that's what I want to try and do. I want to try and inspire you with me being authentic, showing you the different aspects of my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the nasty, the crappy, everything that I can possibly think of, to hopefully bring out that in you, so that you know that you can work through it, you can become better. Because it's so good that people say, well, you should, it's it's easy enough for people telling you what to do, but actually doing it yourself can be quite difficult. And I strongly put my hands up and agree with that, because for so long I've been thinking, well, what do I actually do? I've got all this information coming in, and finding that practical side of actually doing it and really thinking about it. And it takes time to figure out what is the best method for you, and it also to figure out, if you don't take that first step, you are not going to achieve it. So yeah, I hope these new directions of the podcast are going to help you out immensely. I am also going to try and, I think, maybe record some on my phone and walking about and whatever inspires me, and just try and show you the life. And if you want to know what my life's about and what I'm doing, then please follow me on all my social media accounts. If you like this video, then subscribe and like it. We're going to try and show a bit of a different side. Instead of me just talking and giving you the knowledge that I've learned, I'm going to show you the difficulties and the side that isn't easy. Like when you've had so bad limiting beliefs, for so long. And you might not even had any bad troubles in your life. Like, I can't really remember anything really too serious now. People might say, like, my dad was in the Navy for like 24 years. And for the first 11 years of my life, he weren't really there. He was in the Navy going away for like 6-8 months at a time. So I think when I turned into a teenager and he'd come out and he tried telling me, what to do in this and that, I kind of rebelled against him. And that's when I started going down different drug routes and all sorts. But I honestly don't think the reason why I went onto drugs was because of that. I kind of think it was just me wanting to do it. I didn't think anything of it. And the same as, like, I don't really see my dad being in the Navy as like a massive thing anymore. Whereas when I was younger, it probably did bother me, but I can't really remember the reason why. And then when I think about it now, it might be because, I feel like if you need to be there for your children, then you should be there. You shouldn't be away for a certain amount of time. And with my daughter, I'm not with her mother, but since she was 5 months old, I've had her every single weekend. I've had her half at holidays. I've had her as much as I physically can do, because that's what I wanted. And that's kind of, so I've learned from that experience of, when I was younger, from my dad, to now knowing that I don't ever want to be like that. I want to be a dad that's in her life, that can, bring her up, that can, give her everything that I can. I don't hold it against my dad. Me and my dad's got a great relationship now, and we've moved forward. But I've learned from that situation where I don't want to, be that dad where it doesn't really see their kids, doesn't really want, anything to do with them, or their life and their dreams are too important to, put their kids first instead of what their face. And I don't even think it is about that anymore. I think these days you can do your dream job and do everything else that you want. You just got to try and work it into your life, and that's what I'm going to show you on the channel as well. Hey? Yeah, boy. So that's just a little bit of a backstory. I don't even class it as like a bad backstory. There's people that's had a lot worse than me, had a harder life, had so much more happen to them than what I have. So I'm not using these as an excuse. I'm going to use certain things in my life as a tool to learn from, but I'm not going to let them hold them back. And I hope you don't either. I hope this channel brings out, them bad points, but constantly thinking in negative about this and other is only going to keep thinking about negative. And if you can learn from it, then just switch off from it and move forward. Because, as I said in yesterday's podcast, it's so easily done where you're constantly thinking about this and other and all the negativity, because the books are telling you, right, write this down, write that down, why do you think this is, why do you think this is, so you're constantly going over. Then before long, you've got this such a massive pressure building up, because that you're constantly thinking about it, and it gets a bigger problem in your head because you're thinking about it even more and more and more. And it just, sometimes it isn't the best solution. Sometimes it's just acknowledging it, accepting it, and then just moving on from it, and then trying to become the person that you want to be, and just trying to, put your best step forward. And over time, when you were bringing your best self out, that negativity, that person that was there before telling you can't do it, slowly gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Before, they're gone anyway. So, anyway, that's it for today. Hope that I've given you a little bit of a sneak peek into what's going to happen over the next few weeks, months, or even years from now. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you are enjoying this quarantine as much as you can, because at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying it, you'll only hate going back to work. If if you're going to a job that you hate doing and you're hating being at home, what else is there, mate? You're hating everything. So enjoy the time at home with your kids. Enjoy the time at home doing what you need to do. Redecorate. Do whatever it takes just to enjoy it and just love it. And the weather's been so nice. Just get out and just love it. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. I hope to see you again tomorrow. And thanks for tuning in. As I say, like, subscribe, comment. Love it. And I'll see you again soon.